So we just got done with our mixed team match play, and it's kind of a weird format, to be honest, when you're only bowling 3 games, and all that matters is if you win your matches or not. So there's a potential for a lot of ties. It's a very quick, very short format, and that was exactly what happened today. Our group, we bowled against Singapore, Germany, and Norway, and it was Singapore won all 3 of their games, so they got 9 points, and then the rest of us won a game each, so we all went to a roll-off. They played lanes when we started, played probably the cleanest we've seen them play down here. Honestly, it's pretty amazing how much cleaner they play now compared to when we practiced here, in the practice sessions. When we practiced, I felt like I could throw stronger core balls with shiny surfaces like Dark Code or the X2, the RST X2, with shine, like straight out of the box on the fresh, and I would be okay. And now I'm looking at my reality and having to add surface to it to get it to pick up early enough. So it's completely different, and I don't think I've ever been to a championship where they actually get cleaner as you go on. So that's kind of weird, but it is what it is. They started out, it was really cold in the bowling center this morning, and they started out being really clean. So I think me and Mick managed to figure it out pretty well. The girls struggled a little bit with getting adjusted quickly enough, but I think we all ended up in a decent spot. Unfortunately, we lost the first game, I think like 210 to 220. And then we bowled the next game. We bowled a pretty good game, but again we lost I think we shot like 210 again. They shot 220 against us. So it's one of those things where we just need one more hit here or one more hit there, and we're gonna win the games. Fortunately, we bowled a really good game the last game. It came away with the win, which meant that Norway, Germany, and us all had 3 points, so we went to a roll-off. We moved to a different part of the bowling center where we hadn't bowled, and I think all 3 of us had a pretty good lane to bowl on. We bowled on the lane where I think Guatemala started there and had their last game there. Guatemala was using slow balls with a lot of surface playing fairly to the right, so that lane hooked a lot. It hooked in all the right spots. You could get it right, it would hook back. Looked really good. I think both Mick and I struck every shot in practice. The girls just needed to adjust. Mika switched balls, and then she looked okay. Cecilia needed to move. She probably moved like 5 or 6 left, and probably needed to move another 4 or 5, which she did in the middle of the game. So it was quite different from what we were bowling on, but easier than, probably broken down fairly easily compared to a lot of the other lanes in the bowling center. We got off to a little bit of a rough start. Mick struck, Cecilia made a spare, Mika struck, then I got up in the 4th frame. I was throwing my Dark Code and really trying to not slow wheel it, but keep my speed down a little bit and really get it to the right and just have it wheel off there. I moved 1 left compared to practice, and I think I grabbed it a little, got it a pinch left, and it just took off and big forward. So that put us in a pretty bad spot considering the other teams were striking from the start. But then Mick struck in Mick ranked 10 in the 5th on a pretty good shot, and then Cecilia made a pretty big move with her feet, struck in the 6th. Mika struck in the 7th. I got up in the 9th. I knew we could strike, or in the 8th, I knew we could strike out for 236, and the other teams could strike out for 235 and 243. So if I struck, we would at least have a chance. I switched from the dark coat to the RCX2, moved another 3 left, threw it harder, and went flush. So I think part of what happened in the 4th frame was me, but part of it was also that the lane broke down quicker than we were expecting. And it sucks, but it's just what happens once in a while. I struck in the 8th when I made the proper adjustment. And then Mick got up, he was going the 9th and 10th frame. And we talked about it, and he had kind of gone a little light the 1st frame, then kind of like half 10 in the 5th frame. So he was gonna throw it a little bit slower, just because Mick never really during this tournament never really had any shots that jumped left on it unless he threw it really bad. They all seemed to just read a little earlier, and then it would go high flush and he would strike. So he went with just a little slower speed, and it just picked up way sooner than any of the other shots, and left a 4 pin, and the other teams shot 235 and 232 or something like that, and we ended up shooting 216, 15, 16. So it's just, again, one of those things where a little too slow to adjust, could probably throw the ball just a little bit better, and we end up losing by a few pins. So at least we did a little bit better than the other match plays, but still not really what we wanted. But we've got the team finals tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day, and hopefully we can figure out a way of winning a lot of matches and getting onto that outdoor lane to bowl for the medals. So give us a like and subscribe, and let's see what we can do tomorrow.